I've been closely following the case of Dr. Hadiza Bawa-Garba, who was found guilty of manslaughter by gross negligence in 2015 over the death of 6-year-old Jack Adcock. So what is gross negligence manslaughter? Well, the actus reus, the guilty act, first considered in R.V. Adamoko, considers the following 5 elements: that there's a duty of care owed by the defendant to the victim, and whether a duty of care exists is a matter for the jury once the judge has decided that there is evidence capable of establishing a duty. 2. A breach of duty, and that can be an omission. 3. The risk that the defendant's conduct could cause death. This is an objective test. Would a reasonable man be able to foresee the risk of death? 4. Evidence that breach did cause death. And 5. The jury's conclusion that the defendant fell so far below the standards of the reasonable person in that situation that he can be labelled grossly negligent and deserving of criminal punishment. There is no mens reus or guilty mind needed to be found guilty of this offence. Dr. Hadiza was found guilty of this and was sentenced to 2 years in prison, suspended for 2 years, and had originally been given a 12-month suspension from practising medicine. However, the General Medical Council appealed against this decision and called for her erasure from the medical register. This is concerning because Bawa-Garba was partly convicted on the basis of evidence used from her own self-appraisal as part of her EAT portfolio. As a pharmacist, I reflect on my practice when considering CPD. This is continued professional development and is meant to help my practice and help develop me as a professional. At the moment, CPD is changing for pharmacists, and soon we will be required to have peer discussions as part of our CPD. What really concerns me about this case is that things that I use or methods that I use to improve my practice could be used against me in the event of an error. I don't think it encourages a culture where we are open and able to discuss problems and help improve patient safety.